The market took a sharp U-turn today. Price suddenly dropped. Everything changed quickly. People are skeptical. Donald Trump just shocked everyone. However, in a few hours something massive will be released. And this might save Palantir's bleeding. Analysts and Wall Street dropped their signals. What is happening? And how will all of these make sense? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. What a wild day for Palantir. Out of nowhere, its price just took a nosedive, crashing down to $82 again. The whole community is freaking out because just a few days ago, Palantir was on fire, surging to a new all-time high. And now? It's like the script is completely flipped. The mood shifted fast. One moment, everyone was celebrating, and the next, doubt started creeping in. Investors were on edge, unsure of their next move. Should they buy the dip and hope for a rebound? Or is it time to cut their losses and walk away? No one had a clear answer, but one thing's for sure. Palantir's price drop became the hottest topic of the day. Now you might be wondering, what's going on? Why did this happen? What's actually causing Palantir's price to drop like this? Well, if we take a step back, it's not just Palantir. The entire market is having a bit of a meltdown. Stocks are sliding, investors are on edge, and uncertainty is in the air. And the reason? It turns out Donald Trump has something to do with it. So what's the deal? Well, over the weekend, Donald Trump dropped a bombshell, announcing a new set of tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico. And just like that, the entire market took a hit. Palantir felt the impact immediately. On Robinhood, its shares dropped over 4% overnight, just before its big fourth-quarter earnings report on Monday. This wasn't just a random dip. Index futures took a nosedive the moment Trump's tariff decision hit. To put things in perspective, Palantir was on a serious run. It hit a record high of around $85 before settling at somewhere in $82 range on Friday, still managing a 1.5% gain. And in after-hours trading, it barely budged, inching up just below 0.1%. Now, despite all this chaos, Palantir has actually been one of the hottest stocks of the year, gaining over 11% in just the last 5 trading sessions. In fact, it's been the top performer on the S&P 500 in 2024, fueled by the AI frenzy, especially with the hype around the Chinese startup DeepSeek shaking up the market last week. But here's where things get interesting. The company has a strong track record, beating estimates in 7 out of the last 10 quarters. That said, CEO Alex Karp isn't ignoring the competition. In a recent interview with CNBC, he warned about DeepSeek's growing influence in AI and stressed the need for a strong U.S. response to keep its technological edge. This is huge, not just for Palantir, but for the entire economy in the long run. It's not just one company feeling the pressure. The ripple effects of Trump's tariffs could shake up global markets in ways we haven't even seen yet. A senior UK cabinet minister is already sounding the alarm, warning that these tariffs could have a really damaging impact on the world economy. Trump has slapped a 25% tax on goods from Mexico and Canada, plus a 10% tariff on Chinese imports, and it's all set to kick in on Tuesday. The fear? This could spark a new era of trade wars, where countries start hitting back with their own tariffs, making everything more expensive and uncertain. Canada and Mexico aren't taking this lightly. They've already vowed to retaliate with their own trade penalties on U.S. goods. Meanwhile, the UK is pushing for fewer trade barriers, not more, saying global trade should be about building relationships, not breaking them. For the US, the stakes are high. Critics are warning that these tariffs could drive up inflation, making things even tougher for businesses and consumers. And with the market already on edge, uncertainty is the last thing investors want right now. So, where does this leave Palantir? Well, right in the middle of all this chaos. As a company deeply tied to government contracts and global markets, anything that shakes up the economy is bound to have an impact. It was just riding the AI boom, hitting record highs, and now, thanks to this tariff drama, investors are suddenly questioning everything. All eyes are on how Palantir will navigate this storm. Will it push through the turbulence? Or is this just the beginning of a bigger shift in the market? One thing's for sure, things just got a lot more interesting. But there's another big factor at play here. Palantir's Q4 earnings report, which is set to drop in just a few hours. And let's just say, the anticipation is through the roof. One Twitter analyst pointed out that Wall Street is expecting Palantir to report earnings of 11 cents per share on almost $776 million in revenue. That might not seem like much on its own, but it could be a huge deal for where the stock goes next. This is a crucial moment. Earnings reports are one of the biggest drivers of stock prices because they tell investors whether a company is actually delivering on its promises. If Palantir beats expectations, it could send the stock soaring, maybe even pushing it past its recent all-time high. But if it misses, things could get ugly fast, and today's drop might just be the beginning of a bigger slide. The speculation is wild. Some traders are convinced it's about to crash even further, while others think this could be the breakout moment that sends it into uncharted territory. No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. This is a make-or-break moment for Palantir, and everyone's watching. Whatever happens next, it's going to be big. But here's an interesting twist. Maybe the situation isn't as dire for Palantir as it seems. One Twitter analyst made a pretty compelling point, arguing that trade wars and tariffs won't really impact software companies like Palantir. In fact, he suggested it might even give Palantir a long-term boost, especially if companies start bringing manufacturing back to the US to avoid the tariff chaos. With its focus on AI-powered data analytics for government clients, Palantir isn't as tied to physical manufacturing or trade as, say, a company that relies on importing goods. Instead, it thrives on providing critical tools for intelligence, counterterrorism, and military applications, things that aren't going to be swayed by tariffs on goods. Now, this analyst also warned about the baby out with the bathwater moment. Basically, if hedge funds start dumping futures and indices, we could see a massive sell-off in the short term, which might drag everything down, including Palantir. But in the long run, Palantir could actually come out ahead as businesses shift gears and start looking for more advanced software solutions to handle the new landscape. So, while the market's freaking out right now, there's a chance Palantir could weather this storm better than most. The key question is whether its earnings report will reflect that resilience, or if investors will let short-term fears drive the price even lower. Either way, things are looking interesting for Palantir right now. And here's the kicker. For investors, whether you're a retail trader or a big institution, one analyst said something that might help clear up some of that uncertainty. He pointed out that if dips like this make you nervous, it probably means you don't really understand what you're investing in, or why you're in it in the first place. He made a pretty solid point. Not knowing what you're invested in is one of the quickest ways to lose money. It's easy to get swept up in the hype or panic when things start moving fast, but that's not a smart strategy. Instead, the key is to do your homework, really understand the company and its potential, and have true conviction in your investment choices. Don't try to cheat the system or follow the crowd. If you've done your research and truly believe in the company, you'll be better prepared to ride out the dips and come out ahead in the long run. It's all about confidence in your decisions, even when things get bumpy. Looking at the long-term picture, it's pretty safe to say that Palantir is in a prime spot for a bright future. With its strong relationships with the US government and Trump being vocal about the revolution of AI, it's clear that Palantir is positioned to make some serious waves. In fact, just today, there was a tweet about something interesting. A 21-year-old who recently worked with Palantir was hired by the Office of Personnel Management under Donald Trump. This is a big deal because it shows just how much the US government values Palantir's work and capabilities. If the government is actively bringing in people with Palantir experience, it signals that they're betting on the company's future and its role in shaping tech and intelligence moving forward. And then there's Elon Musk's involvement in taking over the Department of Government Efficiency. Musk is known for shaking things up, and if he's pushing the government to become more efficient and tech-forward, Palantir is likely to be at the heart of those changes. With these kinds of high-profile ties, it's clear that Palantir is gaining confidence and trust from key players in the government, which bodes well for its long-term success. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Palantir update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.